Alright, folks, so it's late, so I'm going to review a Gucci Mane and Migos mixtape. Now, this came out several years ago, back in 2014, and this was when Gucci Mane was in prison after getting arrested in 2013. And so, Gucci Mane, obviously he has his prolific work schedule. He makes hundreds upon hundreds of songs, but in 2014 he must have dropped probably like over 10 or 12, something like that, dozens of projects that year, even though he was in prison for that entire year. And that was just kind of the situation. I mean, he was kind of starting to help shape the new trap sound that's been kind of happening since the past 8 or so years. And obviously with Gucci Mane having to sit on the sidelines at that time, it was kind of Migos that helped shape the sound that was coming about as of today. Now, obviously, this is before Bad and Bougie. This is before T-Shirt. This is before Slippery and those type songs, by Migos. Some of the stuff that they've done, like Culture Forward. And really, this to me seemed like a core Migos mixtape just because there's no single. Gucci Mane is not, he's only, to my knowledge, he's only on one song of the 10 songs on here. And even on that one song Gucci Mane is on, the Migos group doesn't even drop a verse. It goes to some other cat who I'm not sure of who takes the other verse on the song. So this is kind of more like a compilation project more so than a full-blown Migos mixtape. That's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of guests on here. Young Thug's on here a couple of times. There's like some Young Scooter, uh, uh, just some other cats I don't remember because I had to rearrange the songs. So another thing to know, if you get this mixtape from the website DatPiff, some of the songs are going to be kind of out of order. Like songs 6 through 10, which is songs like Take My Soul, What You Doing, Send Me Packs, Skr, Risk Game. Those all have the wrong titles. So each one of those, it's not the actual song that you click at that DatPiff says it is. So I rearranged them, and obviously there were a lot of those were the songs that I actually liked, but that's just something to know. So just so you know that ahead of time, if you're thinking when I say I don't like the song, What You Doing, you're gonna see that as the song Skr when it comes up. So, but you'll figure it out. I mean, you just have to retype the songs or whatever you want to do with it. Um, so yeah, another thing about this project is there's no single. It feels like this project barely was able to come out just because Gucci Mane was in prison and Migos were busy promoting their actual mixtapes or their solo mixtapes, and they were kind of blowing up because of No Label 2 and the song Fight Night and that sort of stuff. So this kind of felt like just like an additive of some sort. But that's kind of a disappointing thing about this project. This is the fact that there's no single. I would have liked maybe Gucci Mane went to prison before they could really start getting to work on this. But for what it was, I mean, it's basically just like B list, B minus list Migos music, lacking commercial appeal, and it's strictly almost for hardcore. So that's the thing you got to understand with this sort of thing is it's hardcore only, but they're obviously depending upon how much you like rap music, it may not feel that way. It may just feel casual just because of how popular trap music is. So it's kind of something to consider. So uh but I'll go ahead and list since there's no single and it's kind of difficult to promote this. I'll just go ahead and list the songs that I recommend to you. So, out of 10 songs, I recommend 4 of them. The first song you hear, 1017, which is off of Gucci Mane's label 1017 Brick Squad. That's an excellent song that has a better beat than expected. The song Seen a Lot is another one that has a real hot beat on there. Take My Soul. This is one of the songs that you have to rearrange, but it's called Take My Soul. That one's a great song. And then probably my favorite production on this project is the song, the one on the song Risk Game. So yeah, so Risk Game, Take My Soul, Seen a Lot, and 1017. So 4 out of 10 of them. I almost like the song Skur. That's the only song I could find Gucci Mane on, but I was kind of disappointed just because Migos didn't drop any verses on there. And that was kind of the one of the complaints I had, is they kind of just would do 2 verses, and most of the time it was Quavo that would do the verses. So I was kind of I mean, there's of course 10 songs, but when over 4 or 5 or 6 of these have guests on there, they chose to put the guests rather than having two of the Migos rap or something like that. So, um, you know, but it is what it is. I mean, that's the thing. You have to look at it like, I mean, it's basically just like a compilation project from Migos. It's kind of half, maybe this wasn't supposed to come out, but then it's actually free music. It's it settles for Migos, but the main thing is it just lacks promotion. So that's virtually where I came from with that. And I mean, I'm gonna give this project just a 5 out of 10, just because honestly, uh, having that many, for it having no promotion, and somehow, even though it's for hardcore rap, coming off as to the point where almost a lot of people, more than an average amount of people, can pick up this project and actually listen to it as an accomplishment. So that's the thing, because you would say, especially back in 2014 when Migos didn't have that many hits on under their belt, to say, you know, they they're really not that commercial, but somehow these songs have enough popularity to where they actually warrant a listen, rather than just, oh, I only like the album music or the official stuff or the charting stuff, that sort of vibe. So I'm kind of glad that that wasn't the case this time, but still, once again, this has no single to back it, so this is kind of dependent. I mean, really, you would think it's kind of a pick and choose situation, but that's relative, just because, since there's no single, there's no definitive consensus as to what the true best song is. So I'm giving you my opinion on the songs I felt like were the best, but because, sometimes music can be subjective, you may be thinking, well, fuck it, I'll just pick my own songs. But for what it is, I mean, it's I have the opinion that it's above decent. So it's not mediocre, it's not lukewarm, it's above decent, it's not perfect. We probably could have used more Gucci Mane and a hot single like Versace or something. But for what it is, it's it's doable and serviceable mixtape and Migos music. So yeah.